The question of why an all-powerful God doesn't destroy Satan is a profound theological puzzle. It touches on the very nature of good, evil, and human free will. To understand this, we must first consider the concept of free will. God granted this gift to all his creations, including the angels, allowing them to choose their own path. Satan, originally a high-ranking angel named Lucifer, used his free will to rebel. He chose pride and separation from his creator, which was the origin of evil. This initial rebellion raises a key point. If God were to destroy Satan for this choice, it could undermine the entire principle of genuine, unforced love and worship. The conflict is not just about power, but about justice. God operates on principles of righteousness. Simply eliminating opposition might be seen as tyrannical, not just. Satan's rebellion essentially challenged God's right to rule. He claimed that creation would be better off without God's authority, sowing seeds of doubt and discord. This cosmic legal battle needed to be settled. God's response was not instant destruction, but a plan to demonstrate the righteousness and superiority of his way over time. Humanity became the central stage for this cosmic drama. Our choices, our struggles, and our capacity for faith or rebellion would serve as the ultimate evidence. By allowing evil to exist for a season, God demonstrates its ultimate consequences. We see firsthand the pain, suffering, and chaos that result from turning away from goodness. If Satan were eliminated immediately, the lessons of his rebellion might be lost. Other beings could potentially make the same prideful mistake in the future without this stark example. Think of it as a cosmic court case. Satan made accusations against God's character and government. God is allowing the evidence to play out for all to see. This evidence includes the history of humanity. Every act of cruelty and every moment of despair is a testament to the failure of the path Satan represents. Conversely, every act of love, sacrifice, and redemption is a testament to the goodness of God's way. The contrast between the two becomes increasingly clear over time. God's plan involves redemption, not just punishment. He provided a way back through Jesus Christ. This demonstrates love and mercy, qualities Satan claimed God lacked. The sacrifice of Jesus is the ultimate counter-argument to Satan's claims. It showed that God was willing to suffer personally to overcome the evil Satan introduced. This act of profound love is more powerful than simple destruction. It wins hearts and minds, which is a far greater victory than one achieved by brute force. The continued existence of evil allows for the development of character in humans. We grow stronger by facing and overcoming trials, temptations, and moral challenges. Our choices for good, made in the face of real evil, carry immense weight. They are genuine, tested, and proven, not just the default setting of a perfect world. This process refines believers, preparing them for an eternity with God. Their faith is not a fragile, untested thing, but a resilient and deeply personal conviction. The story is not yet over. The Bible speaks of a final judgment where Satan and all evil will be dealt with permanently, but only after the case is closed. This final judgment will be universally seen as just. No one will be able to accuse God of being unfair, because the full history of evil will have been revealed. God's patience is therefore not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom and mercy. He is allowing time for as many as possible to choose redemption. The delay also serves to fully expose the nature of sin. It shows that even a small deviation from God's law ultimately leads to death and decay. By allowing Satan to operate, God makes it clear that any system not based on his principles is doomed to fail. Satan is, in a way, proving God's point. The universe is watching this unfold. The angels and other created beings are learning profound truths about the nature of God and the consequences of rebellion. This cosmic object lesson ensures that such a rebellion will never happen again. The price of sin will have been demonstrated in the most conclusive way possible. God's ultimate goal is a universe filled with beings who freely choose to love and serve Him. This cannot be achieved by coercion or by eliminating all dissent. True love requires the freedom to not love. True loyalty requires the possibility of betrayal. Without this freedom, these virtues are meaningless and robotic. Satan's continued existence is a constant reminder of the stakes. It keeps the choice between good and evil real and present for every human being. God is not a cosmic dictator who crushes all who disagree. He is a loving Father who allows His children to learn from their mistakes, even when it's painful. The pain and suffering in the world are not caused by God, but are the natural result of the evil that Satan introduced and that humanity often chooses. God's role is not to prevent all suffering, but to redeem it. He works through the brokenness to bring about a greater good and a deeper healing. The story of Job in the Bible illustrates this. Satan was allowed to test Job to prove that human faith could be genuine, not just based on blessings. Job's faithfulness, even in an immense suffering, was a powerful testimony against Satan's cynical view that humans only serve God for what they can get out of it. This demonstrates that God is confident in His creation. He believes that love and faith can withstand the harshest tests that evil can devise. Destroying Satan prematurely would be an admission of defeat, as if God were afraid of the outcome of this contest of wills. But God is not afraid. He is patient, allowing the full story to be written. This story will ultimately vindicate His name and His character for all eternity. The problem of evil is temporary. The Bible promises a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells and where there will be no more sorrow or pain. This future reality will be all the more precious because of the memory of what was overcome. The victory will be sweeter because the battle was real. Those who choose God will have done so with full knowledge of the alternative. Their commitment will be absolute and eternal, forged in the fires of trial. The final removal of Satan will be a judicial act, not an arbitrary one. It will be the righteous sentencing at the end of a long and public trial. All of creation will understand why it is happening and will agree with the verdict. There will be no lingering questions about God's justice or fairness. This approach respects the intelligence and moral agency of created beings. It treats them as participants in the cosmic story, not as mere pawns. God is seeking a relationship with us, and relationships are built on trust and understanding, not on fear and overwhelming force. By allowing this process, God is revealing His multifaceted wisdom. He is showing that His ways are higher and more profound than our simple solutions. We often want a quick fix to the problem of evil. God is interested in a permanent, comprehensive solution that addresses the root cause, the choice of the heart. The existence of evil allows for the highest form of good to be displayed, redemptive love. This is the love that enters into suffering to bring healing. The cross of Christ is the central point of this entire narrative. It is where God absorbed the full force of evil and transformed it into victory. This victory was not won with legions of angels, but with humility, sacrifice, and a love that refused to be extinguished by hatred. This is the pattern for believers as well. We overcome evil not by matching its force, but with good, with forgiveness, and with enduring faith. Satan's power is limited. He can only operate within the boundaries that God allows. He is not an equal and opposite force, but a rebellious creature on a leash. His ultimate defeat is certain. The Bible is clear on this point. The timing and method of that defeat are what reveal God's profound wisdom and purpose. God is playing a long game. He is not just thinking about the present moment, but about the eternal stability and joy of His entire universe. This requires a solution that is not only effective, but also instructive. A solution that settles the question of evil once and for all. So, when we see evil in the world, we should not see it as a sign of God's absence or weakness. We should see it as a temporary part of a much larger plan. It is a reminder of what we have been saved from. It should drive us to a deeper appreciation for the grace and mercy we have received. It also motivates us to be agents of good in the world. We are called to push back against the darkness with acts of love, kindness, and justice. We are participants in this cosmic conflict. Our choices matter. They are part of the evidence being presented in this universal court case. Every time we choose forgiveness over revenge, we strike a blow against the kingdom of Satan. We demonstrate the superiority of God's way. Every time we show compassion to the suffering, we reflect the character of God and defy the selfishness that is at the heart of evil. The church, the community of believers, is meant to be a preview of God's coming kingdom. A place where love, unity, and grace overcome division and hate. The final chapter has not yet been written, but the outcome has been declared. Love wins. Goodness triumphs, and God's name will be vindicated. Satan's rebellion began with a lie. The lie that self-interest is the ultimate good, and that God is holding us back from our true potential. All of history since then has been a systematic dismantling of that lie. We have seen the fruit of selfishness, and it is rotten to the core. The story of humanity is a tragic but necessary experiment. It proves, beyond any doubt, that life apart from the Creator leads only to ruin. God could have stopped it all at the beginning, but in doing so, He would have left the core question unanswered. The accusation would still hang in the air. By letting it play out, He answers it completely. He proves His goodness not by assertion, but by demonstration. This is the way of a true and just ruler. The freedom to choose is the greatest gift, but also the greatest risk. God was willing to take that risk for the sake of a genuine relationship. He did not want a kingdom of puppets who were programmed to adore Him. He wanted a family of sons and daughters who chose to love Him freely. This required allowing for the possibility that some would reject that love. The pain of that rejection is part of the cost of creating a free universe. The existence of Satan is the ultimate expression of that rejected love. He is the embodiment of the choice to live for oneself rather than for others. His fate is sealed, but his continued presence serves a purpose. He is a living monument to the folly of pride and the dead end of rebellion. He is also a catalyst. His temptations and attacks force us to cling more tightly to God, to depend on His strength rather than our own. In this way, what Satan intends for evil, God uses for good. He turns the enemy's own weapons against him, using them to strengthen and refine his people. This is the ultimate irony. Satan, in his quest to dethrone God, is actually helping to create a people who are more devoted and resilient than ever. This demonstrates God's supreme sovereignty. He is so in control that He can weave even the threads of evil into His beautiful tapestry of redemption. The question is not, why doesn't God do something? The question is, do we trust that what He is doing is wise and good, even if we don't fully understand it? Faith is trusting that the author of the story knows what He is doing, even when the current chapter is dark and confusing. The Bible gives us the beginning and the end of the story. We know where it started, and we know how it will conclude. This gives us hope in the middle. The middle is where we live. It is the time of testing, of choosing, of waiting, but it is not a time without purpose. So the simple answer is not that God can't destroy Satan. It is that He has chosen not to, for now, for reasons that are far wiser than our own. He is achieving a greater victory than simple annihilation. He is winning a victory of love, justice, and truth that will endure for all eternity. This victory involves our participation. We are not spectators, but actors in this great drama. Our choices have eternal consequences. The delay in judgment is an act of grace. It is an open invitation to turn from the path of destruction and embrace the life that is found only in God. Every day that passes is another opportunity for someone to respond to that invitation. God is not willing that any should perish. but that all should come to repentance. This patient, redemptive approach is the ultimate refutation of Satan's characterization of God as a selfish and uncaring tyrant. The evidence is clear. One path leads to division, hatred, and death. The other leads to unity, love, and eternal life. The choice is ours. When the time is right, and all who will choose life have done so, the final judgment will come. Evil will be quarantined forever. Then, the purpose of this long and painful chapter of history will be fully understood. We will see the wisdom of God's plan in its breathtaking entirety. Until then, we walk by faith, trusting that the God who defeated evil through the weakness of the cross is in complete control and is working all things for good.